Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, and welcome back to Loving Lori. I am so excited because today I have Natalie here with me, and she owns
Tag team training.
Tag team training. I was gonna say it the opposite way. I was gonna say team tag training.
No, tag team training.
Tag team training. So yes, Natalie, I have known her for how many years now? 4?
Ooh, yeah, a while.
Yeah, I think 4. No, before that, because it was before I left to DC, and I left to DC 4 years ago. So like 5.
Before I turned 21. Yeah.
You were a baby.
It's been a while.
Okay, so the first thing I want to do this one a little bit differently. I'm changing the questions finally because I'm sure whoever has been watching my videos are like, we've been asking the same questions. I'm bored. Ask something else. So now I have done that, guys. Don't worry. It's a little bit different. So first, I just want to know about you, Natalie. Who are you?
I'm your friend. I'm just kidding.
Other than that, because everybody knows that. They're like, you keep interviewing your friends. But who are you? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me about Natalie. Who is Natalie?
Yeah, so I'm an artist. I'm a dog trainer. I'm a student. I'm a front desk receptionist. I'm an RA warrior. If you don't know what RA is, it's rheumatoid arthritis. What else I am? That's about it for right now. That's sort of what I have going on for me right now.
Those are your titles. And how young are you?
I'm 24.
Oh, you're a baby. Can I be 24?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Well, first, I guess the first question should be, before I go into detail on the other questions, because then it'll all make sense. You're a dog trainer.
Yeah.
You guys do more than that. So explain what tag team training is.
Yeah, so me and my fiance, he's my partner in crime. He's the dog groomer of the team. I'm the dog trainer. That's how we met. It was a match made in heaven. So yeah, we basically tag team with each other. Like if I need help with something, I tag him. He comes in. He's like, okay, let's take on this case. Like we both learned from each other. I was never a groomer before, so I learned a lot of techniques from him, a lot of skills of being a dog groomer. It takes a lot to be a dog groomer from what I see. Like it's completely different from dog training. Dog training is patience and so making the dog's associations positive and negative as well. Whereas dog grooming, it's like, all right, we're gonna take a bath. Gotta be cool. My energy's gotta be calm, just like you have to be calm. You have to be cooperative with me, and they're more vulnerable, I would say, in grooming, just because they're getting touched and felt, and something unusual that they're not really used to. Like I don't think I hold my dog's paw the way I hold them during grooming, like where we have to nail trim and stuff. Like I don't ever do that to my dog as often. So they're two completely different worlds, and I'm glad that we brought both of those worlds together to kind of give the dog the best of both worlds. Like, hey, I'll take you a bath, but I'll teach you how to sit as well, or I'll teach you how to roll over as well.
That's great. I think and it's so smart too, because it's like you can go to one business and get both things that are obviously necessary for dogs, for animals. You also work with other animals. I know you guys groom dogs, but you also work with other animals, correct?
Yeah, on occasion when we also offer house sitting or pet sitting. So a lot of our pet parents, they're animal lovers just like we are. So they'll have different animals in their home that that we've gotten to know, like the tortoise, turtles, lizards, all kinds of cats.
And all your zoo that you have at home, because how many pets do you guys have between the two of you? You're counting on
7. 7.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot. Well, I can
I
barely
know.
handle my three, and they're just normal animals. And I know you have like reptiles and stuff, and
Yeah, they're all rescues.
yeah, I know
So
I
I
don't.
can't say no to rescue. So I'm like, fine, yes, trust me with your animals. Yes, I'll just take them.
Okay, so why animals? Why do you want to work with animals? Why dogs? What got you into this specific field?
Since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be around animals. I remember one time I dressed up like a zookeeper when I was little, and I was always telling my family, I want to work at the zoo. I want to work at the zoo. And then from there, I ended up loving dogs. My family had always had different kind of dogs growing up, so we would, take them to the vet. We would be that family that would actually go to the vet and make sure our animals were healthy and stuff. And from there, I just kind of wanted to be in that world. And then when I was in high school, I started volunteering at like dog shelters and clinics, and just to kind of get a feel of what that world would be like once I enter it. But the world had different plans for me. Like after I got all that experience, it was awesome to see it. I transitioned into like retail, like the PetSmart, and that's where I used to work. PetSmart, am I
Yeah,
allowed to say that?
yeah, why
PetSmart. I don't
not?
know. I don't want to be copyrighted. So yeah, so then there, I saw that there was different opportunities to move
Mhm.
around. Like there was pet care, there was cashier, there was dog grooming, and the trainer there at that point, at one point, he was like, "Have you ever tried it?" And I was like, "No, I don't even know what." I thought there wasn't more. I thought there was just sit and lay down for dogs. That's it. I didn't know that there was this whole other world of like dog reactivity and greetings and um learning how to walk on the leash. Like I thought every dog was just supposed to pull you all the time. I didn't know like you can actually make a dog walk right next to you and not pull you, and be that little partner in crime when you're holding the leash. So from there on, like I just kind of liked it. And then I was 19 adopting a dog. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, let me just get a dog. I've never had a dog on my own. And I got myself a dog, and I could see how hard it was to have a puppy. And so that's when I turned to that trainer. At that point, I was like, hey, I need help. I took the classes, and from the classes, I was like, oh, I want to do this. Like, this is so cool. Like, getting to teach puppies and getting to teach people how to talk to their puppies, like, talk in a way where you're communicating with body language, with your words. Like, it's just such a cool, like, environment. Like, it's not just yelling at your dog. It's like, let me teach you what my hand means, like what my hand, like it's almost like a little sign language for dogs, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's how it kind of came about. And then I met Josh, and yeah,
Then
the
the
rest is
real history.
history. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I think that's so true because even with me, before I started working at the shelter and volunteering and before I adopted Paige, I don't think I even realized the correct way to train a dog. I'm not saying that I don't yell at her because sometimes I just feel
uh,
like she's ignoring me.
I'm just as guilty.
But it's so interesting, even, and it's so funny. Me and Mal were talking about this, and the fact that even when I go to the dog park now, I'm like, they don't understand their dog. No, their dog is not playing. No, they can't do this. And I told her, like, I don't like going to the dog park anymore because I'm like, I'm just sitting here judging everybody on their dog parenting. So I just rather not do it.
Right.
And I socialize my dogs in other ways. And even that, like something as simple as like a dog park, people think, oh, well, I like to hang out with my friends, so my dog wants to hang out with their friends. And it's like, no, that's not necessarily what your dog wants. These are things
I'm
that we're
always
putting
like, did they
on.
ask you that?
Huh?
I'm always like, did they ask you that? Did they tell
Yeah.
you that? They wanted to go to the park.
Exactly. Did they say that they miss their best friend? Like, no, that's something that we do. And then we sometimes want to force dogs that maybe don't like interacting with other dogs,
Mhm.
to interact with other dogs. And it's all about exactly what you said. figuring out how to talk to your dog specifically, because just like us, dogs have different personalities. So I think that's awesome. I also, when I was little, wanted to work at the zoo. Now
Yeah.
I'm like deathly afraid of anything other than dogs and cats because I'm older.
Yeah.
Now I'm always like, that could kill me. That could kill me. That could kill me.
Yeah.
But I like, I love that, and that's awesome. I feel like yours manifested into dog training and mine manifested into veganism and only adopting dogs, even though my
True.
son's not adopted. Just got to be honest.
Oh.
um, so what is something that you have gone through throughout this business venture that maybe was a hiccup or something that was hard throughout tag team training?
It was my health. I think that was like like the biggest obstacle that was thrown at us, because we always talk about it. We're always like, it was going so well, and then we got this huge bump out of nowhere where I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and it literally brought me back to having no motion in my body. Like, I had to basically learn it all over again, like as a baby. Like, it was such a weird transition, such a weird, like, the way that it happened. And Josh has been a really good sport at like telling me, like, maybe this happened for a reason, maybe we just needed a break, maybe we just need to just take a break. He's all about like giving the body a rest, because I was doing a lot at that point. I was working, I was doing that, I was going to school, and I'm slowly getting back into it now. So yeah, that was something that that was hard to deal with. Another thing was probably like those downtimes where we wouldn't have like a lot of bookings.
Yeah.
Those are like what made me like really sad. Like, I'd be like, oh man, like that would make me question a lot. And I'd be like, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't do this anymore, or maybe we should stop it, like I'm losing faith into it. But like I take it day by day now. Like, I think my health was a blessing in disguise, almost, to kind of like let things just flow, let the cookie fall where they, like crumbs where they fall where they may, or something like that. Like, that's what I like to live by. Like, just kind of like take it day by day. Like, if there's a good day, awesome, we'll celebrate. If there's not, then it's okay. We'll keep, maybe this is just a way of us starting to network out and talk to more people, because the panorama happened, and then our social anxiety went up here, and I felt like I couldn't really talk to people anymore. And I felt like we're all just kind of learning how to go back to normal too. So I think the pandemic also had to do a lot with that hiccup.
Yeah, that's true. I think, at least myself, I am a firm believer that if you're not slowing down, and like the universe, God, whatever you believe in, is like saying slow down, eventually something is like, you're gonna hit that roadblock that's gonna say, hey, this is like, you're not listening. I told you to take a chill pill, and
Yeah.
here it is. What is it that gets you through those hard days, whether it's like a hard day with RA, or if it's one of those days that you described, as far as feeling like this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, that self-doubt? What is it that gets you through that?
I have to say it would be my family and like my partner. Like, that support, the love that I've felt from them, I don't think I ever felt it before, like the pandemic and getting sick. I feel like because they saw the way I was, they were like, oh my God, like she needs our help. Like, we all have to just, it takes a village. So I think I had my own little village behind me, kind of just pushing me and helping me in any way they can. And I really love that I had that. Like, I think that was something that kind of really brought my motivation, my strength up, like my moods. Like, it just really uplifted that. And the fact that that the dogs are still around, and I always say, like, I always talk to them and I always say, like, thank you so much for understanding like what I was going through. Like, thank you guys for being so patient and not being brats, like not choosing to, because like when you're out of the routine, they were out of the routine like immensely. Like, dogs tend to react upon that. Like, they'll either pee in the house. They'll,
She's
rip
gonna
up
go to that.
toys. Yeah, like they'll just be dramatic about it. And I'm so glad that we didn't have those issues with them. Like, I'm glad that we were able to work around it. And yeah, like I said, like they were just as patient as much as we are with them. So I was like, thank you so much for being awesome.
That's so, and I'm sure that was a good feeling because it was just like, okay, like they know and they're taking it exactly what you're doing. You're taking it day by day and they chose to take it day by day.
Yeah, definitely. Dogs are amazing.
They really are. I think that's one of the things, like when I know I was at my lowest point and when I was what, like 3,000 miles away from home and by myself, and I came home to my dogs every day and my cats, and at that moment, I know for me at least, that's what kept me going because I had to get up to walk them. I wasn't gonna let them down and let them suffer alongside with me, but they were so good in that time. And it was the comfort that I couldn't get from anybody else. And just somebody sitting there with me while I was crying or I was upset. And that makes me want to cry right now. But it's just like,
I
I don't know,
know.
it's just love.
My cat often does the kneading thing.
Yeah. And I think it's just like a love that you,
So sweet.
yeah. And it's a love that you don't get from people, but it's just like this unique, beautiful connection or love that you have with, what is it, with your animals, right?
Okay.
Okay. So what is your why? Like, what is it that keeps you going? What is it that keeps you motivated to continue tag team training? What is that for you?
I think it's just like it's a hobby. Like I see it as a hobby. Like I don't see it as a job that I have to like get up for and like, oh, okay, I have to go, put some effort into it. Cause I feel like it comes natural. Like the moment that someone's like, hey, like I need training. Okay, cool. When? We can meet today, we can meet tomorrow. Like we're right on top of it. Like we're always so eager to do it. Like just because it's a nice pastime. Like we literally see it as we're getting to hang out with somebody else's dog. Like we're getting to know somebody else's dog and almost like thinking that it's ours because we're having to teach the dog from the first page of the book that they meet with us, and we're writing that book with them with along with the owner on the side, and just kind of creating a different life for another person. Like I think that's really awesome to do. Like yeah, it's nice. It's a cool thing to just have on the side. Like I wish it was my main job all the time because I would love to just train dogs all day.
That's awesome. So it's about your love for people and dogs. That's what it sounds like. And I think that's
Yeah.
such an amazing thing to have. And the fact that you don't look at it as a job, but like a hobby, it's something that you love doing. And I think a lot of people, it's hard for people to find passion in what they do day to day.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's such a blessing. That's such a great, unique thing that you have, that you get to do what it is that you love. And it does make a difference. At the end of the day, it is making a difference in the dog's life, because especially for me working at a shelter, I know that if somebody takes the time to put training into their dog, they're going to
It's so
have a
rewarding.
yeah, they're going to have a different dog. And then that dog is less likely to end up at the shelter, be given up. And even if it does get rehomed for whatever reason, if the dog is trained, there is more success in the dog staying in a second or new home because of the fact that the
Yeah.
dog has this foundation. Um,
Yeah.
so I think it is a very important job. I think it is a very important gift. And I love that you called it like a gift, because it is. It really is a gift to have people that are able to have these connections with dogs that not everybody has, or be able to understand dogs and animals in ways that not everybody can.
Yeah. Definitely. I always say they're not just pets to be outside and guard your house. Like you
Mhm.
can it's your best friend. Like there's just so much you can do with a dog that's so freaking fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And the bond that you create with them, like I think even having Winston, as much as I am not a puppy person, I have said it 100 times, I will
Oh, I
continue to
love
say
him so much.
it because I'm not a puppy person. But even like when I'm like telling him no and I'm about to start like chasing him and then he's going back and forth and like running away from me, I'm just like, but then after it's like, okay, you're kind of funny because you're a dork and you're just like, all right, whatever. I'm not gonna listen to you, lady. I'm gonna ditch
Yeah.
you.
Like
But
just their mannerisms, like just the way they are, like you just can't help but to smile. Like I
yeah.
love that feeling. Like whenever, like there's this thing that Finn does, like I don't know if Winston or Paige do it or Mel's dog does it, but I go to the restroom and he's right behind me and he'll just sit there and stare at me and I'm like, can I have some privacy? Like or sometimes I'll have like little conversations with him. Like I'll just talk to him and I'm like, so how was your day today, papas? What'd you do? Like it's a cool little bond. Like it's just
Yeah.
a friend, like a little friend that's just there all the time.
Mhm.
Whenever you need and whenever you don't need them, they're just there.
Yeah, even when you're annoyed and they're over here bugging you and like nudging you with their nose or whatever it is, and you're like, I'm not in the mood right now. And then they're like, but I am.
Yeah.
I want to play. I want to play.
Yeah.
It's
Yes. Oh my gosh.
it is fun and it is even in the moments that I think you don't appreciate it, eventually you have those moments where like you go away for the weekend or you do this or you do that, or the moment that we all are gonna end up inevitably inevitably having um is when they pass away and they're not there, and that's when you miss them and you know like, oh okay, they did make a difference, and all these annoying things we miss,
Oh,
those super annoying things,
yeah.
right? um
I don't even want to think about it, okay?
yeah.
It's so sad.
That's how I get now that Paige is getting older. Every time I start thinking about it, I'm just like, or Sarah will bring it up and I'm like, don't talk about it because when she dies, I'm gonna die.
I know, seriously.
That's how it
Like,
feels, especially I think when there's this one, I don't know, there's like a special connection with the first animal that you got. And at least cats are a little bit different because Kruger,
they live forever.
yeah, he's gonna be here longer than Paige for sure. But even with that, like he kind of doesn't care about me all the time. It's just on his terms, where like when Paige isn't here and she's my first dog, like I learned how to train with her. I started working at the animal shelter because of her.
Yeah.
Like the connection that I had with her started all these connections with all the dogs that I got to work with in the shelter. And for me to understand, hey, this dog isn't aggressive, they just don't like other dogs. Hey, this dog isn't trying to like bite me, but he's terrified. And I know that because of Paige and because of what Paige is and her little soul. So I think it's such a
Yeah.
awesome connection that you build with your first animal. And then you, in a different way, you get to work with people's animals where like me, I know I was working with like homeless animals, I guess. And but either way, you're
Mhm.
making a difference in this dog's life. And it's just such a beautiful thing. And it's something that I appreciate. And I will always like cherish the moments that I worked for the shelters that I worked at, because it's awesome getting to know, just like you said, other people's dogs and getting to spend that little time with them. But last question, what advice would you give somebody thinking of starting their own business?
Let's do it. Do it. You know, you're never gonna, if you don't take a chance on it, and this is something that Josh always tells me, if you don't take a chance on it, you're never gonna know if you're gonna succeed or fail. Like just take a chance on it. You just never know. Like what you don't want to, stay with that thought of, well, what if I did it? Maybe I could have been big, or what if I didn't do it, like, or it's just I would say just do it. Like I was nervous. It is nerve-wracking. Like it is slow. And, you're gonna have your days just like our moods. We're just always gonna have our days. And it's okay. It's okay. It's just part of the process. Trust the process. It might be a long one, it might be a short one for whatever it may be, but trust it and put your trust into yourself too, that you can actually accomplish something. Like don't feel like, oh, I can't do big things, because we all can do big things, even if it's like the most littlest things. Like it may impact someone, and that's something that they're gonna carry in their heart. Like I want my clients to think of me of like, well, Natalie helped me with this, and I'm so glad that she helped me with this, because I can now do this with another dog or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And I think it's true. Like you might be taking for granted something that you are able to do that somebody else can't do. So I think that's so important to just allow yourself. And I think it's so like, I love the fact that you said, like, don't doubt yourself, because it's so true. A lot of times we are our biggest,
Biggest critic.
yeah, biggest critics, exactly. And we're constantly, I mean, even with all of this, and even what you were saying, like it resonates with me, because you're saying like you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days. There's some videos where I just get 1 view, and then there's other videos where I get 10 views. And it's like on those one, it's just like, why am I doing this? But I have to remember like what my why is. And I like this, and I like doing this, and this is what I feel called to do. So what does it matter? That 1 view, maybe it made a difference for that one person, and that is the most important part. So why am I going to continue to put myself down if it's something I enjoy doing? I don't mind taking the time out of my day to do it, and I genuinely find a purpose in it. So what does it matter what the little voice in my head is saying when it's time? You like, don't do this anymore, you're not good at it, or you're not this, you're not that. It's like you have to learn how to shut that voice out.
Silencio Bruno.
Yes, 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 yes. I love that movie because of that. I thought it was such like, and that's exactly the message, right? Like you just want to be able to quiet
Me
your
too.
negative thoughts. Yeah, it's just, yeah, that was a good one. And I like that. I don't know if you guys all saw that TikTok trend where it's like whatever, like you would write whatever it is that you're scared of, and then it did the Silencio Bruno, or like they practice saying it, like, because it's true. You have to
Yes.
silence your own Bruno in your head, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But that is so awesome. Is there anything else that you want to leave us with? I'm going to link all of her stuff down below so you guys can find her, book her. One more thing. What cities do you travel to, if you travel however far around your area, just so everybody I know in California, LA area can figure that out?
Yeah, definitely. So we're based off of like Norwalk, Whittier, LA area, but we don't mind traveling as long as our clients don't mind traveling. I always like to meet them halfway so that it's kind of like in the middle. It's not too bad for both of us, and we're both putting like in the effort of like going to
Yes.
them, and they're coming to us. So anywhere like farthest we've probably done is like Altadena, I
Okay.
think. Yeah, yeah, but and we had one client that wanted it from like Lancaster, but that's a little
Okay.
bit too far.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
little bit too far. But yeah,
Okay.
we're hoping that we get to at least go farther
That's
one
awesome.
day.
Yes, one day. You just gotta keep going, right?
Yes.
So I will link everything down below so you guys can go follow her, book her if you need a dog groomer, if you need a trainer, or if you need how you house sorry. You guys house it, right?
Yeah, we house we
Okay.
pet yeah, we house it, we do pack walks.
Oh
All the
yes,
good.
that too, you guys. She does pack walks. I have not been able to do it. Paige is just not the best with other dogs, but I should do it with Winston one day.
Yes.
They do pack walks. You guys have done them at Citadel. Where else have you guys? Do you usually just do them at Citadel?
Whittier
Okay.
to yeah,
Okay.
the
So
local areas.
the local areas, but she's always posting on her tag team Instagram. So I will, like I said, link everything down below. You guys go follow her. Natalie, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story, sharing your why, giving your advice, and telling us a little bit about your life and why you started all of this. Thank you for being vulnerable. And again, thank you for being here. I want to end this with a lot of light, love, and a big old hug. I love you guys so
Aw.
much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.